Welcome to the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess. Pepper, no, put that up here. Put your dong pepper back on the...
My hot wiener.
Put that hot wiener.
My hot wiener.
You bumped the table really hard.
It's okay because
I just bumped the table too.
Yeah, we have to... it's okay because we have these amazing shock thingies on here.
It's still when you...
Hold on, I want to check the video already.
Yeah, okay, check it. Go ahead. It's okay.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to upload it real quick.
Okay, cool. Yeah, take your time.
Everybody
We don't care. We don't have anything going on. I don't have a
gonna
family. I
do
didn't
that.
just get back from Maine. It doesn't matter.
I don't have a family to go home.
Yeah.
Holy crap, when you take your headphones off, it sounds so much different. These
Wait,
headphones
did you
are
check
amazing.
the video
These are
already?
really
Go
nice.
check the video.
I was joking because I was talking about like taking it out and uploading it and checking to make sure that it's good. And that's going to...
Okay, we're good.
That would take up a lot of time away from your family.
It would.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Oh my God, welcome. Where are we?
We are in Jess's house.
Yeah, we're in my kitchen. Dining room.
We are in Jess's dining room. Actually, this is one big room.
Yeah.
This is the dining room.
Dining, living room area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a, this is a reasonable house.
It's lovely.
It's fine. No, I mean, it's not.
I've been in here before.
I'm not.
Momentarily.
I didn't want it on camera.
No.
But, here we are.
It's fine. It's really clean and it
very nice,
smells good. It smells
that's
like
good.
cinnamon.
It's
Oh, wow.
organized.
I love that you're lying.
I like the plant thing you got over there with the lamp.
Thank you. My mother-in-law got me that.
That's very nice.
If you're wondering whose voice that is, we
Who's
didn't
that?
introduce it. We have
Who
a
is
guest.
that? Oh my God, we have a guest here at Jess's house.
Hello.
Yeah.
That is our friend
Lynette.
Lynette Manning.
Lynette Manning.
Oh my goodness.
Hello. Nice to be here.
We've heard the listeners have heard so much about you.
Mm-hmm.
Most of it has been positive.
Most of it has been positive. Yes.
not all of
Until
it. Not all
Sam
of it.
tries to create like this.
Yes,
Fight.
very real.
This
like,
very
Jess
yeah.
tried to create that fight. She's the one who doesn't like you. I've always liked
ridiculous.
you.
Yeah.
I've always liked you. That's a Jess thing. Jess has to be the biggest and baddest in the room.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. That's why I work out so hard.
That's why I see her. She sharpens her nails
And my shanks.
to a point. Her finger shanks.
That's what I call them.
That's what
I call my nails, finger shanks.
It's not a thing you call them. It's a thing that they are.
No, yeah. Well, it's a weapon.
Yeah.
It's a thing that they do.
Lynette tried to run you over that one time.
Oh, I thought you meant metaphorically.
I didn't try to run anyone over.
No, well, no.
Are you saying you succeeded?
I'm just making stuff
No.
up.
That's like that one time.
But yeah, Lynette's here, and there has been. I don't want to talk about it that much, but we'll say
Okay,
this.
sure.
No. We're really gonna.
Not talk about it.
This is season 2
Oh, yes. Season 2 of what?
of the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess,
Oh, dang.
where
Season 2. Do I have one of those? I don't know. Nope.
Jess and her partner Dane have invested in podcasting equipment, and we are producing the podcast ourselves.
Yes.
And so you might be like, wow, it sounds different. And you might be like, where's Trey? Where's Isis?
Yeah.
They're both gone.
We don't know.
They're both not a part of the podcast. And I love Trey and I appreciate Isis. But we are moving on independently. And also I appreciate Nate Jackson. I appreciate Nate Jackson Super Funny Comedy Club.
Oh my
where
gosh.
I am headlining Thanksgiving weekend.
Hopefully.
I talked to Nate, and this partly was Nate's thing. He's like, yeah, you should probably do it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's true. And like it's, for me, I'm excited because it's just like another aspect of comedy that I need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to press buttons, which is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's fine, whatever. I do miss Trey.
I do miss Trey.
So,
I miss Trey as well.
yeah.
I sometimes life you get to make decisions and you try to make the right ones, and sometimes those decisions are made for you. And we missed our streak of Mondays.
We did, yeah. I will say that I am really disappointed about that. Like we've been very consistent with having a new episode uploaded for the last 29, however many weeks. And due to, stuff that we literally cannot control, it's it didn't happen.
It
So
didn't happen.
I'm really sorry about that. As I do, there are 10s and 11s of people who listen to this podcast, and they
11s
to 12s.
Yeah, we have
of
12s
you
of fans
who
all over
listen
the
consistent every Monday. But even if they don't, I don't want people to get into the habit of getting out of the habit of us on Mondays.
That's how I felt about it.
Yeah,
is that we have a fan base. It's not an enormous fan base, but we have a passionate fan base, and we care about that fan base, and that fan base expects an episode on Monday.
Right.
And there was no episode this Monday. It bugs me too, especially knowing how hard you work. Yeah. However, I would say, since we're recording this yourself at your house, we could easily do another one this week.
Yeah.
And we could release this and we can get back on it, because now that it's just me and Jess scheduling this, it's going to be a lot easier.
Too easy.
Yeah. So.
Too easy. And we don't have to do it in the morning.
Yeah. Well,
I'm saying we don't have to.
You don't have to.
It's an option to not do it at 9 a.m.
Doing one before you go to work, you can come out of your bedroom and, do your line of fentanyl or whatever. And
my bedroom is right here.
I know. That's why
this is my bedroom.
You sleep on the couch.
This is my bedroom.
You get off
the
trampoline.
Engineer, hold on, the engineer can,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you.
Never mind. The engineer, Trey, would say, get on your mic, though. You have to check your levels. Check your levels.
I think I'm on my mic.
Then there's a difference, and I can hear you back here.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm messing up.
See, it's very evident.
But yeah, it's been, it's just been the last 3 weeks of podcasting have been really hard, but also really.
Well, the podcasting's been easy.
Yeah, and I think it's been better.
Right.
I think we're getting better at podcasting, and that's why it's so funny that we kind of got hit with all this stuff right now, because you and me kind of had it out.
Right, and then we had the last episode was a really great, a special, an hour and a half episode of us coming back together and figuring. He even asked me I think it was 3 questions about Big Brother, and he didn't even see, it didn't even seem like he was trying. It was from the heart.
From the heart. Yeah.
Part of podcasting is you have to be interested in what the other person is saying.
And I had to teach him that.
Yeah. Even if what they're saying is really, 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 really boring and that you don't care at all.
Yeah. I do care.
You should be interested.
Exactly.
Because I'm interested in you.
Yes, exactly. That's it.
Then I have to be a little bit interested in the things you're interested in.
Right. That's all.
Because that's how friendship works.
That is how you stay friends. Right. And then I stay so invested in you.
We were like, we don't want the friendship to end. The podcast should end before the friendship should end. And then we were like, let's do both.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the fans were like, maybe you should end the podcast.
Is that what they said?
Artistic.
It was fun.
It was autistic.
No, artistic.
Oh. It's well, I mean, we have talked about diagnosis. I don't know if it's that one, but.
I don't have it. Somebody said that they think that I'm autistic because I wear my headphones a lot. Yeah. And I said immediately back to them is maybe the reason I wear headphones is I'm worried someone's going to say some dumb shit like that before I go on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone said that to you before a show or something?
No, he said that on Facebook.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Where everybody runs their mouth. Man, I ate a lot of I don't know why I ate all that food before I got here. We were just at the gas station. I was just crushing stuff. I
saw that.
I don't know why I just brought in an empty pack of
and then put it on the table.
But I ate the whole thing. I know.
Why did you bring that here?
I don't know.
Well,
It's strange.
Can you move it? I mean, throw it on the floor.
No, who cares?
You're just showing everybody what you
I don't need to hide from anybody who I am or what I ate.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, don't attack me.
I'm not attacking you. I'm saying you're making us look like trash by bringing your trash onto the podcast.
Whatever here. It's going to make a lot of
Did we have
noises.
trash on the podcast at Nate's?
We did have some weird stuff on the table.
Sweet darts.
Lynette Manning is here.
Lynette.
Hi, it's good to be here.
We wanted you on the podcast for a while.
Thank you for having me.
We've talked
and
to you
you've told us no. You've told us no numerous times.
Not until you get out of that studio and into your living room will I be on this podcast.
Are you nervous?
I am nervous.
to be in my living room.
I'm very nervous.
You should be.
I've heard my name on your podcast.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what's happening?
Yeah, we want to know what's really going
What's
on.
really
What's
happening?
going on?
What's going on in that head of yours?
Yeah. What the hell are you thinking, Lynette?
I don't know. I'm not good at this.
No.
What, podcasting?
Yeah, I'm not great at
We're
podcasting.
coming. How was your day?
My day was good. I don't even. Oh, my son went to preschool.
Yeah, I saw that
was his
actually.
first day.
That was super cute.
First
How
day
did
at
you see
school.
it?
It was on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Oh, I thought he went
You
to
have
your
too many
preschool.
fucking friends on your Facebook.
No,
to
but
even see
no.
any of us
He
anymore,
the
so.
only person that he is checking on Facebook is himself.
Yeah.
And then he's
And then
checking
your
his
That is
Sam
true.
Miller comedy
Yeah,
page
your
and
regular
his
page
right
and your Sam Miller comedy page.
The only thing I watch TikToks. That's the only social media I really take in.
Yeah.
I don't scroll through Facebook or Instagram anymore because it makes me miserable.
Sure. Well, don't do things that make you miserable. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and
That's
I
for sure.
don't
I'm gonna
log
go.
into my
Yeah.
personal Facebook anymore.
You don't log. You only get into your comedy page. Well, then that's why you didn't see
that's
that
why you don't see
Lynette.
that.
That's why I
stuff.
didn't see
Yeah.
it.
I don't follow your comedy page.
I don't either.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Mm.
So many
I
other
feel like you
people
have
do.
You
Yeah.
have enough.
Yeah, I do.
You don't
I
need
do.
me.
No, we wanted you, Lynette. We wanted you on the podcast because we're big fans of yours,
Oh,
and your comedy has improved a great deal in the last 6 months.
appreciate that. Been working
Yeah.
hard on it.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to build my time and
Hold on. Your comedy has improved within the last 6 months, but you were already really fucking funny, before that. So now that it's getting better, you're super really fucking funny.
I would say that she was just regular funny 6 months ago, and that
think
now she's really
super
funny. And then if she keeps working hard, then she'll
She'll
be
be
really
really
fucking funny.
it'll be really
Okay.
fucking
I
funny.
like that.
Yeah.
I
Working
like
on
that.
That's
yeah.
the level I'm trying to get to.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fucking funny. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been working hard, man. My goal in the next year was to get enough time to actually do a headlining set, 45 to an hour. I'm working on it. Last night I did a show out at can I say names of places and all that fun stuff? Four Horsemen Brewery. It was awesome. It was Mike Coletta's room.
Oh, cool.
Got to
Love
do it
Mike.
with Kermit Apio and Mike.
Nice.
And I had to do 25 to 30, and I actually struggled not to go over 30. So that was that's pretty
No
good.
big deal.
No big deal. I know that sounds kind of stupid,
I
but
know,
No, it doesn't.
We did a deal in Chehalis together for Gabe Michael at McFiler's Chehalis Theater, and Lynette hosted. And I told you about that. I think we talked about it on the podcast because you crushed
Oh yeah,
that
about what
shit.
a good job
Yeah.
you did.
And a hosting set. It was really something with Monica Nevi and then what's
That
his
was-
name? Ryan O'Flanagan.
Ryan O'Flanagan. That was a fun show, man.
It was.
It was really. I was thankful for Gabe to put me on it. I know I kind of was at it as last minute host or whatever, but
You
I had a good
were.
time.
You
Yeah.
were. That was I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna toot my own horn.
Of course.
Lynette was bored and she was like, hey, can I roll with you to the deal? Which is this board or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit, let me see if you can host. And then it's funny because Gabe had just had Lynette not that long before. And he was like, I'm down for her to host, throw a little bit of money. But she was just here. So it's like, it'd be good to see some newer stuff. And Lynette did a bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like new stuff when she was doing it. It's stuff I hadn't heard.
Yeah, I think that was the first time I said that on stage. I was pretty proud of it. Yeah, I got a lot. Not a lot. I got some good stuff. I think that I just wrote. So it was nice to try it out there, and the people
Yeah.
responded really well. So I was happy with it.
Where was it?
McFiler's Theater in Chehalis.
Oh, in Chehalis.
You haven't done anything for Gabe yet. I've been trying to work that out so we can do a thing
I
together.
don't think so.
But yeah, I'm trying to get the band
I don't feel
back
like you need
together.
to say that so judgmentally.
What?
But it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say in Chehalis. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think they like me there either.
Yeah, they'll like you there.
I like in Chehalis.
Yeah.
I like in Chehalis.
But yeah, we're talking about going to Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Us three.
The three.
Yeah, it's funny. Once I'm not going to make people bored by making us talk about that right now, but that's
Well,
gonna
we've already
happen.
talked about it.
Yeah, you guys already talked about it.
We've talked about it on the
Like
podcast like
2 or 3
three
times.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like I even lied and said that.
And now that I'm finally here, you're like, let's not talk about it.
it's like we're not going to talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
But
No, I mean like the actual like scheduling. Like I need to know exactly what weekends you guys are both available, and then I will offer.
Bro,
him
you're
those
talking
2
about
weekends.
May of next year.
Right.
Like, we're both available.
It's I don't
You
have
might
anything.
have like I don't know. You might have
nothing.
court.
I mean, I don't want to speak for
No,
but like,
Lynette, listen, if you don't have
Yeah.
anything, you know I don't have
No.
anything. Get out of here.
Who's
Jess-
thinking that far ahead? You
Jess
are.
might
I'm not.
die of malnutrition
Between then and now?
Between then and now.
I mean,
'cause-
I'll eat something.
Yeah.
You brought me
You
a
got
hot
her
sausage.
Dick
There's a
sausages.
sausage over there.
Yeah.
It's called a hot wiener, not a dick
And
sausage.
Lynette might die of
Definitely not starvation.
probably trying
but,
to let her Kia drive itself.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing. Just so for the record, I'm going to talk about it. Lynette lets her Kia drive itself, and she dips pretzels into salmon dip.
And what?
So I don't think that's I don't think that's an issue.
It's amazing. I actually went
did-
to San Francisco with my dad recently and put it on that autopilot. I was eating pasta.
And just eating.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
just like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, that's too far.
No, it's
pasta.
driving. It's driving
Pasta, Lynette.
The car's driving for you. Like, you can either
A
do
sandwich,
something lame or you can eat some pasta while it's driving for you.
That's true.
How does it feel to be in a room with 2
Pasta.
people that know how to eat?
Oh yeah. Well, that's insane. I mean, I know how to eat.
Are you not eating? What's
No, I do
happening here?
eat. He just thinks that like
She's so skinny.
Just
But
because
if-
people are thin doesn't mean
Look
they
at
don't
her.
eat.
right,
bro.
and like literally, if I was
Our
like,
metabolism just suck
You look like a
ass.
dragonfly.
That's about it.
you know what? Yeah, literally, I just poop a lot. That's what I tell. Like I don't.
poop much.
The only time that I go to the gym is to tan. Like
I
that's
know,
it.
I know.
Like so, it's not anything that I'm doing. Like
Yeah.
trust me. Like it's yeah, you're right. It's malnourished. I eat a lot of cereal. I love cereal.
Yeah, cereal's delicious.
Fruit by the foot.
That's cool.
That's what I had for dinner last night.
I don't actually believe anything. I was just saying. I'm just talking shit. 'Cause
Well,
Lynette
no, I have to
doesn't-
defend my
know.
fucking weight here.
I got Lynette here, and I thought this is a good time
Yeah,
to like
well,
pile on.
Well, I mean,
I don't know why
I
you
mean,
thought that.
Pile
yeah.
on.
It's strange.
I know.
Because, especially considering that every time you've tried that, it has not worked.
No. But
Like,
Babe Ruth struck out a
with
lot.
Lynette and I, like it always ends up going very
Yeah.
wrong
I
for you.
know.
Like you always end up embarrassed.
Yeah.
I am embarrassed now. I'm
You are.
embarrassed
You
now.
look like you're sweating a little bit.
Well, he's
I'm-
also sweating, but
Yeah.
he's a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah, I was gonna do that anyway. I usually sweat.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can I talk about what happened in Maine?
Yeah, I think so.
I just got
Unless it
back.
involves me, then
No, I got back from Maine yesterday. 6.5 hours
flight.
flight.
Yeah.
I love Maine.
Yeah. No, I was in
Never
Maine
been.
for 6.5 hours. I did 5 shows, and I immediately left. No, 6.5 hour flight. It was brutal. But I had a great time. Nick Leonard, Dry Falls Comedy Club. You guys are rad. Sarah and Leonard. Sarah's his girlfriend who does stuff with him, is a good comic. Very tall.
Oh.
Very tall. Very tall, very skinny.
Oof.
You know?
Hate
So
that.
Wow.
Hate that.
yeah, I'm
Terrible
fine
qualities.
with we did a show
Just like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
Saturday night at the early show. It was sold out. It was so cool. And they added another show. There was barely anybody at the late show, but it was a great crowd. There was like 8 people there, but they were so fun.
Nice.
But at the early show, it was sold out, and it was already hot down in this basement. And it was so hot. And I sweated so much, like so much sweat.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, just don't make that face
I'm
when I'm
just-
talking about my body.
I would make this face when I
I
was
love
thinking.
like
like-
a moment ago, your body shaming.
Yeah,
beyond
like,
a frown.
I would like think
Don't
I
make
would
a
make this
face when
face
I
with
talk about
anyone's
my
body.
Did you see? You cannot frown any more than that. Oh my God.
It's because of you.
Yeah. But it was like this thing where like I felt like my sweat was sweating. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like every beat of sweat turned
Had
into
sweat.
3 more.
You're like,
Yeah,
I do.
absolutely. Like, oh, I get it. I sweat like a fiend. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? Like,
It
oh
was
my God.
crazy.
Absolutely. This makes complete sense to
Do you
me.
know those little hairs like above your butt crack right there? I don't know if you guys got them or not, but there's like these like thin wispy hairs,
No.
and like you can feel when the sweat rolls down my back
Take it on those
and it hits those hairs, and
Yeah,
like
little
you
damn-
feel that
yeah,
little.
the
You know what I'm
damn-
talking
no,
about?
No, I don't know what you're talking. I'm just
You're so
envisioning what
full
you're
of
saying.
shit. You do know what I'm talking
I
about.
envisioned a hair, like a dam of hair.
Don't
And you're like,
leave me here with skinny ass Jess and tell me that you don't know what it's like to have a sweaty back.
I don't know. It's like that.
A back crack.
So those things, not things, the sweat. It's not a
Yes.
thing. It's a juice.
It's a juice.
body
It's
juice.
yes.
So
natural juice.
It rolls down my back and hits those hairs, right? And like that's a common thing. It's like, okay, my back is sweaty. It's rolling down. It's hitting the little above my butt hairs.
It's a normal thing.
Yeah, but it was just like a constant flow. Like it was like drip, 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 and then it was like a brook or a stream.
Ooh, a babbling brook.
It was so gross. And
That
then
sounds gross.
after the show, it was funny because people wanted to take pictures with me, right? Which I like, which is cool. But like, they're like, I'll get in the middle, right? And I put my arms around him. And I tried my best to warn him. No.
Their
My
shoulders
arms,
are
no.
wet and shit.
My arms were fine.
Oh.
The back.
It was
Yours
my
were
back
bad.
because I put my arms up on people, because I'm so tall. And they reached around. I'd be like, hey, wait,
you're
wait,
like
wait,
at
wait.
armpit level.
Wait. And they put their arms on my back. And it was so funny because they'd touch me and then they'd be like, oh, and they'd pull away. And I was like, yeah, it was hot in there.
It doesn't bother me. I sweat as well. So like, it just happens.
Yeah, I don't like. I think it can be
It's
sexy.
sweat.
It's not sexy.
It can be.
It's not. Well, if you're at the gym.
No, like
it's
hot,
sexy.
sweaty sex can be awesome.
Oh, okay, sure, yes.
Yeah.
I thought not a small like a babbling brick going down your back just from standing.
Whenever I talk about anything about my body, it's like everything about my body is gross.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what you're saying.
Yeah. It's because you just yeah, right.
I was like, if you were talking about like I put on this suit and it fit just so,
And then I was
Yeah.
that would be
sweating and
fine.
I was like, whoa.
But like you know how you have that hair on the top of your ass crack,
not just that one hair.
and then
Oh,
water,
like a whole
bunch
lot of
hair,
them.
and then sweat drips down into a stream.
That's what I was telling him. Like you're too.
It's gross shit that you're talking about.
You give too good of a visual.
I guess you're right. I do
don't-
spin a good yarn.
Yeah.
You do spin a good yarn.
You don't leave anything to the imagination.
Paint a good picture.
Mm-hmm.
You do.
Yeah.
It was wild.
It's gross.
I was like, I need to drink water. And I was like, how much water came out of me?
Yeah.
Like, how much was it? And I know it
A lot.
was like a quart.
Do you think it was yellow?
What, my sweat?
Yeah.
That
I'm
sweat's
gonna puke.
clear.
Like if you like, you know how like
That's because she said it's yellow. We're going to make Lynette barf.
I actually have a
oh no.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. Is it yellow? Oh, man.
Well, you know what
I don't
Had me.
sweat.
You
I don't
fucking had me
sweat
until we
pee.
started coloring that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
because I was thinking it was pee, you know, like if you're not because he said he wasn't hydrated.
Oh my god.
So I just thought he said he wasn't hydrated. I thought,
Yeah.
you know, when you're not, your pee comes out yellow. Okay, moving on.
get that.
Grow up. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez Louise.
It was wild. Like it felt like
Your sweat.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to go back to that. Okay.
Yeah. I've never.
Let's talk more.
There was one time in Cedro Woolley.
When you were as sweaty.
Cedric.
6 years ago. Yeah. Cedro Woolley. I've done shows everywhere. And it was in a brew pub and the AC went out and it was hotter than it was the hottest I've ever had it on stage.
She out there.
Yeah, it was crazy. But this was definitely like the second hottest. I feel bad for people in the crowd. It's really hard to do. You could tell that the people in the crowd were like really distracted. Like I knew something was it took me about 25, 30, like I didn't really think about it during my set, but I was like, the heat in here, like I'm doing well. It's a packed room. Some people are really happy. But the heat itself was like kind of really hindering the show. By the way, Nick, I love you. The shows were great. I talk
Not your
about
fault,
this
Nick.
stuff on my podcast, and it really wasn't your fault. And you
sweat is
guys
not your
paid
fault.
me. You guys paid me well. You put me in I had a great Airbnb in a converted synagogue.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It was wonderful. Don't make that face
No,
when I
I
talk
was
about synagogues. Oh my God, that is such a bad look. Did you see what just happened? I said I was staying in a converted synagogue, and she goes, oh, wow.
Because in my
Head, you're thinking about how you feel about.
no, I was.
Let's talk about it.
Well, what I was gonna say is that's not what you told me about the Airbnb.
What did I say?
You said it was, and then I was gonna say that you were talking shit about it, and then you're like, it was a converted, like whatever, and so I was like, oh, I can't say that, and so there was a lot going on in my head that didn't have anything
really
to do.
about it.
Yeah, so I was gonna make a joke, and then you said it was an old church, and then I didn't say what I was gonna say
Because that would have been a bad look.
because it would, yeah, and then but not this. This is a great look.
Because I just want to point out, you made that face when I first started talking about how much I sweat, and when I talked about a synagogue. It was the same face. You're like,
Yeah, I've actually, there have been a lot of times that I've made that face, and I think that maybe now you're just recognizing it.
I appreciate it. And because, a lot of people, you don't really know where you stand with them. Mm-hmm. But with you, it's clear that I discussed you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, it's clear that I discussed
and
you.
I want that to really, I want to try and drive that home as much as possible.
I know you enjoy my company because we talk a lot and you choose to stay around me.
Right.
But it's very clear that I'm disgusting.
Right. It's not, it's, I'm a glutton for punishment.
Mm-hmm.
What can I say? Yeah. It's not
But
good.
it was great. And the plane ride was terrible. And I had a bunch of stuff cancel. And I busted my ass today trying to figure that out. I'm doing my best. I did my cardio. Also a lot of sweat. I do 30 minutes, right? And I did 15 minutes and I was like, this is terrible. I'm done. I'm done.
Because you were so hot? You were sweating so bad?
No, I was just really tired and I was pissed off and I was like, I got work to do. I can't do cardio right now. I got work to do.
Doing this cardio right now.
I know. But then
wasting my time.
I went back and did another 15 minutes.
Good
That's
job.
good.
You didn't give up.
No. Well, no, I gave up.
Oh.
But then you got back at it. But you didn't give up, though. That's not giving up.
Yeah, I went back after it. Lynette, you know what I'm curious about? I know a lot about you, but I want to hear about what stuff was like when you were growing up.
What stuff was like what?
Like,
Where'd you grow up at?
Like, where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in Lacey. I'm a military brat, so I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And my dad was stationed on Hawaii. We lived on Kauai for a little bit. He retired there. We lived on Guam, which is where my family's originally from, for about a school year. And then he moved us to Lacey, Washington in 1990. So I grew up in Lacey.
Your family's from Guam?
Yes.
And that's where your dad grew up?
Yes, where both my parents grew up.
Both your parents grew up. Did they meet in Guam?
Yes. Yep. My dad, he was drafted into the Army during the Vietnam War. He did 2 tours.
He got drafted from Guam?
Yeah. He was 17 years old. That was his
How
first
did people
letter.
in Guam feel about that? To be like a territory and have people drafted into war from there?
I mean, he actually wanted to join, so it was good for him. And he ended up staying in. And he did 21 years.
Oh, wow.
Retired
Okay.
out. Yeah.
I always wondered.
My dad, he went on, I think he went to his first tour, and then he came back and he met my mom then.
Okay.
You were born in Michigan?
I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was.
Yeah.
Why did
And there isn't a, like,
I was thinking, I was like, but there's not a military base there either.
He was stationed there as a recruiter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I know
they
people are
need
like,
a lot of
there's
that.
no base there. What do you mean? I was like, no, just getting all those Midwest.
Have you been
people
back to Guam?
Yeah. I went back. So, like, we lived there when I was, like, 7, I think. And
For how
then
long?
I went back for, like, a school year.
Oh,
It's a
nice.
year, yeah. And then I went back in sometime in the 90s. I had a family member pass away, so we went for the funeral.
Did you like it?
Was the funeral fun?
Yeah, the funeral's not fun. But
Some funerals are fun.
yeah, not fun. I mean, it's nice to see family for sure. But yeah, it was nice. It's hot. It's humid. I felt the heat as soon as the plane landed inside the cabin. I'm like, this is gonna be terrible.
There's not like mountains there, is there? Isn't it a flat island?
No, there's some, not like high mountains by any means, the hills, if you
How
will,
big
jungles.
is it?
It's very small. It's I think the length of it is like I might be fucking this up, but I think it's like 35 miles or something.
Dang.
I didn't realize that Milwaukee was that small.
Oh my God. I know you're going for a laugh there, but it just makes you sound so ignorant.
I had to actually, a lot of people wonder where I'm from, and people make assumptions. I was at a bar. This lady was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And I'm like, I live in Lacey. And she's like, no, where were you born? I'm like, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh,
I'm sure that's not
so
what you're looking for. Yeah, she's like, no.
White people are out of control. I apologize for my people, my white people.
Why do you think she was white?
Yeah.
She was probably white.
Racist, Dad.
She wasn't.
She wasn't?
No, she was, but that's racist.
It's not racist.
Thank you so
I mean,
much.
it's kinda
I
racist.
appreciate
No.
it.
I've heard
Yeah.
that shit so many
It's a little
times.
racist.
Yeah, I've heard people so many times when they're like, they'll ask somebody, they'll be like, where are you from? And they'll be like, oh, I'm from Houston. No. Where are you really from? Why are you different than me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
It's like you hear it a lot. It's such a cliche thing, but it happens. That's what
Yeah.
people do that, you know? He's
'Cause
like,
I've
are you
never-
from Hawaii? I'm like, no. He's like, well, family's from Guam. He's like, well, Mele Kalikimaka, do they say that on Guam? I'm like, absolutely not.
No.
No.
Because we always talk about food.
We do talk about food.
Yeah, we talk about food. I talk about how your car smells.
Yeah.
What else do I talk about?
I assume because of the food.
That bummed you
He
out.
said it did bum me out. No, he got in my car one day and he said it smelled like his like old Korean friend's house growing up or something like that.
It
And I
did.
was
It
just
smelled
like-
like my friend Bobby's mom.
It's like,
It
why
smells
would
like
it smell?
Bobby's
And then he gave me
house.
shit for saying that. And I'm like, well, I mean, my car shouldn't smell like your old Korean friend's house. Like,
Yeah.
You know what's
what's
weird
happening in here?
about that place, that house, is that she had this little dog, right? And it was like a Pomeranian at my friend Bobby's house. And
The one that smells like Lynette's car.
yeah. And the dog had 7 or 8 food bowls all
Yeah.
around the house, right? And one of them had dog food, but every other one would have like a piece of steak and like some bacon
Yeah.
and like different delicious meats
Treats.
and all these things because the mom just doted
How do you know it was delicious?
over this dog because bacon's delicious and steak's
he-
delicious.
He can't control
Yeah,
himself.
it
That's why.
really was. No, I didn't eat it out of the dog bowl. I didn't eat out of a dog
Yeah.
bowl. I didn't.
It's a judgment-free zone.
Yeah.
But I was really, and then me and Bobby, who I could talk about this. I didn't say his last name. We would drive around and listen to, if you ever listen to Brother Lynch Hung, it's like, you know what I'm talking
I
about?
do.
It's like crazy rap. It's
It
like
is.
super violent.
Very violent. Very
We
graphic.
would drive around and huff air duster while we were listening to Brother Lynch
Oh,
Nice.
all around Lacey.
yeah.
We were like a unguided missile.
Mm-hmm.
And
We were
Bobby,
like there at the same time, I think.
Bobby would pass out, and I would have to grab the wheel.
Yeah.
And that was our life. I love that. Bobby was great. I wonder what happened to him.
I can't
Should
think
look
of
around.
anybody huffing without thinking of that episode of Intervention.
Oh yeah, that was
That shit
wacky.
was
I
like
think I've seen that.
where she was addicted to huffing, and she had a sugar daddy paying for like her apartment and stuff.
We weren't like, it wasn't like a thing that we did all, like maybe we had like maybe a couple months where we did it like once a week.
Yeah.
But even me, it's like a thing that it's hard to do together because you're both ashamed of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there's like sex stuff like that sometimes. You know, it's like, it's like when 2 closeted guys are like kind of hooking up or whatever, you know, and it's like, like this is like, we shouldn't be doing this. We're married, you know, or whatever. Or even people just regular like cheating on each other. You know what I mean? That's how it felt like huffing air cleaner with Bobby.
With your friend.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like I'm cheating on my favorite drugs by doing
your
this.
favorite drug. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's kind of doing drugs though. Like it's like a very private.
Yeah.
Like it's a very like hidden. You know.
Yeah.
Like
I kind of
it's a shameful thing.
sometimes.
Well, usually, I mean, like people don't usually do like, you know,
Yeah.
inject shit like on the sidewalk. Like usually they try and go and
They
hide
do.
behind a dumpster.
Yeah. They do now.
Well, they don't. Yeah, that's because there's 3 people behind a dumpster. There's no
World's
room.
on
There's no
fire.
room
Yeah.
for them
There's
to
no
do it,
room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Times are tough. I've been thinking about that actually, about fentanyl and like this stuff, and that I am of the opinion, and what I've been hearing is that maybe it's basically reached its ceiling, that like it's been getting worse for a very long time, and it's been getting worse slowly. Like it's not getting worse as fast as it was. Like it's been the what do you call it? what do you call it when everybody starts doing the same drug?
Oh, what?
The fentanyl epidemic is like peaking right now, and that things will get better. Mm-hmm. That people are getting off of fentanyl. I don't think overdoses are increased. I know there's a lot of overdose, and they've definitely increased over the last 3 or 4 years, but I don't think the number of overdoses is going up right now, and it brings me like a lot of hope.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know how we got.
Well, all I can think is like I was like, well, you know, I hope you. It's fucking scary. Yeah, I lost a cousin to it, and and that was just a few years ago. So I hope that that's true.
I get probably 2 or 3 messages a day from people that see my videos online, mm-hmm. and they like what I'm doing, and they message me and they tell me that I'm giving them like a bit of hope.
Yeah.
And it makes me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm, naturally.
But also I think it's like so cool that people can be like, oh, wow, this dude isn't getting high. Mm-hmm. He's staying true to himself. Like I'm not like berating people that are still using. And I think sometimes that happens. And I think some people do that because it helps them create like a distance between when they're berating other people for doing drugs. It creates a distance between that part of themselves and their current selves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That like it feels better to be like, oh, like those people and their drugs.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like
I think
like
you're no longer associated with that. It's not you anymore, and they're the ones with the problem. And
well, it's easy to like get on your high horse too. It's like, well, if I can do it, you should be able to do it. If I can stop doing it, then you should be able to stop doing it.
Yeah.
There was do you remember this when I think it must have been 3 or 4 years ago, and there was a prominent person in Olympia. I can't remember their name, but somebody had posted a news story about drugs in downtown Olympia. And this person who had seen me said, I saw Sam Miller do comedy and he was homeless and he did drugs. And if he can do it, why can't they? And it prompted me to write probably at that point. I've written longer Facebook posts since then, but it prompted me to write a very long post about how that is the opposite of what I want. That's the opposite of what I want people to take away from my comedy. Is it not doing drugs has a lot to do with the fact that I could run to my mom's house, who's middle class, and that I was lucky as well.
Yeah,
that I didn't die. I should have died so many times. You know, it blows me away how many times, you know, whether it's being robbed or, you know,
or
overdosing.
Just dying. Yeah.
Or suicide. Mm-hmm. You know, that was like a big part of it for a long time.
So I'm confused. So he mentioned that he saw you do something. You're like, if you can do it, he can. And you're like, that's not what I want you to take away from this.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it's weird because I didn't confront him directly because it wasn't my place. And honestly, like, I don't want to talk about it too much on the podcast, but like, stop.
What you say about every
Take a shot. Take a shot every time he says that. No one to talk about it on the podcast. On the podcast.
There was certain members of like the law enforcement community when I got sober that really thought that they did it. They were like, isn't it awesome that we finally got Sam? Like the help that he needed. Oh. Yeah. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's not it either. You guys missed on that. I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it because we talked about, you know, I made a joke about people. I get uncomfortable when I make jokes about other people doing drugs. I'm fine making jokes about me doing drugs. But like, there's no room behind the dumpster, you know, which is funny.
But you had already gone on your...
I know.
Yeah, you had already started your... Yeah.
I know.
Fentanyl thing before I said that.
I know.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure people know where I stand. I love these new mic things, but I can't see Lynette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you got to lean up.
Because
you're sitting back like that.
Well, that's because my back hurts because I went up and down the dang hill.
Oh, sorry.
Speaking of fentanyl, I hate going up in hill.
I can't laugh at that because I don't.
Why?
I want people to know where I stand on drugs. I don't want them thinking that it's okay for you to do drugs when you exercise.
Exercise is a drug.
Ugh.
It's just a really shitty one.
Ugh, not one I'll get addicted to.
Not
no,
worth it.
Thank you.
It's a mistake every time. I think exercise is worse than fentanyl.
I love working out. I just hate doing it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I always whenever it's always great. It just sucks during.
To actually get
Yeah.
in that mode. But feels great afterwards.
What is what kind of habits do you have? What kind of addictions do you have, Lynette? What's your problem? What you got going on?
I was gonna ask Lynette that too. I love this. Good job, Jess.
It's a good question. I feel very square. I don't know much about drugs. I never really did any. Smoked pot or whatever, but even then it just was like a little bit. And yeah, no, seriously.
At least she said smoked it, not did it.
Yeah, did it, right?
You didn't I did the weed once.
I did the weed, the marijuana. And then when I was younger, I drank a lot, just like young kids do, and then I just kind of stopped doing
How
that
young?
too. So I don't think I started to actually
kids.
drink until like 19, 20.
Oh God.
And then when I turned 21, it
I thought you were
became
gonna say something really cool.
I was like
No.
19, 20.
I was honestly, I was pretty clean. I was a dork. I mean, I definitely wasn't a cool person in school or nothing like that. And I just
Not
didn't-
like you're all cool. You're really
Yeah,
cool
I'm
now.
just
kind of cool. All right, okay now, but I mean,
I do think you're cool.
Thank you. I
Because you're
appreciate it.
confident.
Yeah.
I am a confident human being. I wasn't always. I was
know
very
you
sad.
weren't.
I was
Yeah,
very
nope.
sad growing up.
I think anybody's confident when they're younger, right?
I think there's confident people when they're younger.
They're idiots.
Yeah, they don't just know. They just know.
They usually
They
die.
don't know any better.
They're like, I can make that corner.
Yeah.
Then their car careens into a tree.
Right.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
I had a bit of a gambling addiction
Confident.
there for a
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Ooh,
Okay,
let's
that's good.
go.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
What are you doing?
What'd you get into?
Oh, just
Little hold 'em, little
Counting
little
cards.
blackjack. What are you doing?
little back
What are you
alley
doing?
shit. No, I did
Dominoes?
blackjack. Did
Is it the
slot
horses?
machine blackjacks? I went to a horse. I did feel like a gambler when I went to a horse track.
We're
race.
so fucked up.
But
Like
even then-
if someone was like, "You drinking? Huh?
Yeah,
What'd you
what
drink? You like
drinking? What'd
the
you do?
vodka?
How hard did you go?
I was so happy.
sorry.
I didn't know about this gambling thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you were
it's not
fucking up.
awesome.
Roulette.
Oh dang!
Jesus. See, she
fix
got
that.
so excited she had to take her
She
headphones
I felt like
off.
my
to
hair was like
regroup.
coming out, friend. Yeah, roulette was a big deal. Just throwing down all kinds
Russian
of money
roulette?
on it. No.
No.
If it was.
That's
That's where all that confidence comes from.
Yeah. But
She's
even
seen
then-
many a men die.
I think even then, that only lasted about a year or two. So
I mean, you
I
you
just- I don't-
definitely seem like a very in control.
I mean, I try to be. I'm addicted to doing things. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I definitely have that YOLO thing going on. I don't like sitting still. I feel like sitting still is a waste of time, and I want to do as much as I can while I'm alive too. And comedy, I would talk about it on stage, was part of a bucket list, and that was a real thing. And I do have many life experiences that I'm proud to say that I was able to check off. And but it is an addiction. I like doing things.
Yeah,
I like to do the stuff.
like things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
what?
What
What are you into right now?
Yeah, what was on your bucket list?
I did think. So I did that naked 5K run, comedy.
Naked 5K.
You just
Yeah.
put out a new bucket list, though.
I'm working on a new one for when I turn 40 this month, so I'm excited about that. I was in an air guitar competition.
Nice.
That was pretty rad. Parasailing, and it wasn't.
It seems like a lot of these you could do at the same time. Like
Yeah, you could.
do
The naked
air
run.
guitar, parasailing.
You could. You
Yeah.
could do that up there.
That just sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet parasailing naked would be fun, but you'd have to worry about birds.
You'd have to worry about your bird
Yeah.
Yeah.
getting a rash.
Going to Maine was one. I went to Maine. That was pretty cool. I don't know. It's hard to backtrack and think about. And it wasn't all extraordinary things. That was the whole idea of the bucket list thing. It wasn't like all like jump out of a plane and
You
blah,
had
blah.
some
It's
easy
just, like,
ones on
new
there?
shit. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I made bread, for the first time.
That's
I made
awesome. And of course,
lasagna.
you probably did it
Was it good?
exceptionally.
I did all right.
Yeah.
Made lasagna for the first time.
Lasagna's so good.
Yeah.
Lynette is like Lynette. You remind me of my friend Antoinette, back in Maryland, and she's just like, it doesn't matter what she does. Like, it's just like she is able to like understand how things work, and then how to like do it.
Yeah.
And just like do it, like baking bread, and it's like the most gorgeous bread. Like I've seen like the stuff that like you cook, and it's like the most, it looks like gourmet, and I'm like, like fuck Lynette, god damn it. What
Here we go.
like you do everything great.
Just like I said at the beginning of the podcast, there is real beef here.
There's really
Just
trying to
not
make
like
some
Lynette.
beef.
I know.
She just told me how I
think
reminded
you're
her
so
of her good
amazing.
friend from the East Coast.
My best friend.
Yeah, her best friend.
Yeah, Jess
That's
killed
not-
her. Jess killed her.
Just killed
That's
her.
why she was her best friend.
Antoinette.
You're-
Jess murdered
No.
her.
it's nuts.
Sam doesn't even get it either, too. I'm like, you have to stop perpetuating the Lynette and Jess fight on the podcast, especially.
Why?
Don't make us
because-
against each other.
Well, people don't realize like that you're joking sometimes.
I'm not joking.
And then they're going
I
to
know
go
you
to
guys
Lynette
don't
and
like
be
each
like,
other.
whoa, did you hear what Jess said about you on the podcast?
Did you hear what Jess said about you on the podcast?
Say,
She
I've
said you
watched
got
your
a fat head.
podcast.
That's what
I
she
mean,
said.
I do have a big head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't give in to her like that.
My new addiction, can I just go back to that real quick?
Yeah, hit it.
Okay.
Is slime.
Like making it?
No, like really cool slime.
Oh, I thought you were talking about sex stuff.
No,
Well,
not at all. Have you seen like the
Don't
cool
make
slime?
I got it.
Like, well,
Sweat, synagogue, slime. It's all S words that get you.
I get into like just stupid shit, but like the cool, like,
My 16-year-old
Making
really
it
likes that
slime.
too.
I'm
yeah.
into that. I'm into it. I know it's for children, but I like it.
There's some Elmer's glue around here. I think you can make some.
I don't like Elmer's glue. It doesn't get you high.
Oh.
Like, look how cool that is. It's slime. You just, and then I think it's like a stress thing.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I'm proud.
Yeah.
I thought you
It's a
were.
good thing. Remember, that's that
Oh, wait, I
confidence
forgot.
she has.
Part of being a good podcaster is you have to be interested in what people are talking about.
What's
Yeah,
your
I like
favorite
that.
kind of slime?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't do drugs. I wasn't a
Yeah,
crazy
me too.
alcoholic, violent, breaking into houses,
Hey.
I broke into
getting
no
pulled
homes,
over and
okay.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't have a speeding ticket.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not like,
One
I
speeding
mean,
ticket.
I'm interesting, but I'm also like not interesting.
I was gonna say the slime is like putting us to sleep.
I know.
Like,
But I'm fucking into that's my new thing right now. I get
Can you
into
smoke
stuff.
the slime?
I don't think you can. Well, you could probably smoke anything, but
Amen. That's been my motto from
a
day
true
one.
addict.
yeah.
I know some people. There was a guy. I heard a story one time. This dude in rehab had like this paint that was in his bedroom,
Yeah.
and people were like using the paint. He was in rehab, and there was paint on this desk, and he was like scraping the paint off, and people were getting high with that paint.
Paint.
And it was that paint was only on his desk in his room at the rehab, and he became like the paint kingpin
The guy.
of his rehab.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
and maybe that could be like you and slime.
ooh.
Yeah, everybody else just really wants slime.
Yeah.
But when that's
Maybe
only
the slime
got
guy.
I'm the one that has it.
the
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it's
Paid
good
want the good
for.
stuff?
I paid like $60 in slime today.
Dang.
Yeah.
Where do you?
It's on Etsy.
Okay.
Wait, people are making it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
okay.
there's this
Yeah.
one that I bought today. It's like a slice of toast. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you put this green.
That was such a legitimate yawn. I'm so sorry.
Cute.
I couldn't. No, I don't. This is not a
You
response.
asked me to be
I
here.
can't.
Okay.
I can't help it.
You asked me to be here. You asked me what I'm addicted to.
No, that was so hard
And
because
Yeah. No, that was rude.
I wanted to yawn. I'm also sleepy because I'm still on East Coast time. So
it's like midnight over there.
fuck you. Don't try to turn me and Jess against me and Lynette against each other. Okay. I love Lynette. I knew her before I knew you. She was in my life before you were in my life.
knew this was gonna.
And my life
Yeah,
was
this
better
is-
before you.
Oh my
silly.
lord.
No, you know what he said when we saw? So we were early coming over here, and you passed us. We were chilling at a store waiting.
Yeah.
You passed us, and this dude was like, "You know what? I love my friends. I'm so lucky."
Aw,
That's what he said.
that's so sweet.
I did say that, and I meant it. I love you guys. I'm having so much
cute.
fun.
So-
Yeah.
I love making
He's
fun of
saying some
you.
shit.
You
but-
were eating a treat
I'm almost crying.
in the
You
gas
see me
station.
going? It's going. It's going. I'm gonna cry.
Are you crying?
Yeah, sometimes. Watch.
Oh, dear.
Watch. Look
I
at
can
this.
do it. I'm just thinking about how much I love you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening.
I mean, it's.
Isn't that amazing?
That's
course
wild.
I wish you guys could be in touch with your emotions like I am.
Oh, I'm very in touch with it, but I cry in a car like a human being.
Like a respectable.
I think we should all
Human
cry
being.
right now.
I would never.
But Jess, God
never.
damn it, fucking
Absolutely
cry.
I'm a
not.
car crier.
Absolutely not.
No, I really do. I am very
That's
lucky.
sweet. No, I agree.
And do you not want me to get all mushy right
No,
now?
I agree. I'm totally. Go ahead.
Because I feel like what I did on this podcast was I was making fun of you. And then I'm not really making fun of Lynette because Lynette scares me
She's
more
a
than
guest.
you do. Yeah.
Right.
You think I'm boring as shit, but that's fine.
I don't think
Well,
you're
there's.
boring.
I mean,
at
there's
all.
nothing to make fun
I
of.
think you're a wonderful human being. And you're interesting.
I'm okay.
I just need to know more about what to know more about.
Yeah. I know. I feel like
Get
I'm
to
not.
know.
I feel like I'm not giving enough. I'm
No,
really trying.
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
It's not your fault because you're a different kind of human being than me. You know?
That is true.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah. And
fall all
so is
over
it.
yourself.
But what I'm trying to say is that my life is much better because both you guys are in it. And that's why I'm trying to do this thing in Montana. And that's why I wanted you on the podcast. Both me and Jess wanted you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I meant what I
Yeah.
said in the parking lot. And I
know
bought
you
you
did.
that. I bought you
You
that
did. You
dick
bought me-
sausage that you love.
Yeah.
It's a hot wiener, but yes, you
I
did.
bought you a hot wiener.
I know. I appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think it's good that you're in touch with your emotions
yeah,
and your friends.
yeah. And I'm doing good at podcasting.
You're doing great at
Doing a good
podcasting.
job.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Podcasting.
What makes you like hot wieners so much?
I listen, it used to be my favorite treat growing up. There used to be this company called Penrose Sausages, and they used to come in this glass container, and the factory was in North Carolina. And then the factory, because the hot wieners are so hot, burnt down.
Oh, that is a hot
It's
wiener.
a hot wiener. So
What a
now,
twist.
but these big mamas, these
Are they the
things,
same?
they are on the bottom. It says from the makers of Penrose.
There you go.
That's
There you
it.
go.
Oh,
That's why.
Yeah, so it's
That's
like
good
my
stuff.
childhood. I mean, it's
dig that.
like it's
You know what?
they're so bad, but
That brought me back to when you just told that story and then the factory burns down at the end. What was that documentary that you watched? And then you brought it up on the podcast and then, or was it Trey?
oh,
what was
the
it?
no, the mysterious case of Natalie Grace.
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
it was. She was like a 6-year-old or something.
Yeah.
And then
With yeah,
he thought she was an adult. Oh my god,
yeah,
Lynette.
because she was a little person.
Yeah, it was.
It was great.
I
It's on
worry
Netflix.
sometimes when Jess tells me stories about things.
Yeah.
I
He doesn't
get
trust me.
really worried because sometimes there's a twist at the end where it actually was a little girl that they sent back. to-
And I am the little girl.
yeah, and Jess is. she's-
No, he's worried that what I'm going to say isn't interesting. And then it, sometimes it is interesting.
He says
Yeah.
some interesting things.
Every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've been very interested this whole time, and even though I did have that yawn when you talked
You
about
did
toast
sleep.
slime,
That was
Toast
Lynette. That was
slime.
me.
awesome, dude.
I know,
It's so
I know it
cool.
is. And I want, like I said, I've been tired. And also, I want you to know that when I started to yawn, I tried to stop myself from yawning, and I almost choked on myself.
Yeah.
I wish you would have
Yeah, that would have
stopped
been good.
yourself. Is what
I tried to stop myself. Trying to do a good
Yeah.
job. Oh, my butt's
good.
sore. We need better chairs.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Studio checklist. Studio wants. Oh, yeah. And this is
studio
actually cool.
wants.
Okay.
Yeah, let me hear it.
If you're listening to this and we need a sponsor.
We need so many sponsors.
Yeah. No, we just
Perhaps
need.
the Big Mama company.
I
For
want
the makers
one.
of Penrose.
The makers of Penrose.
Do you want me to do this or not?
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. We are trying
mean-
to make us some money already. You're trying to talk about it. We're trying to be about it.
Yeah. We went ahead of you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We're 3 slides ahead of you, but go ahead.
Go.
If you want to sponsor the podcast, contact us. And you could very well sponsor the Tarp Report with Sam and Jess.
That's it. That's all you
That's it?
Yeah. That's all I wanted to say, but I kept getting interrupted
It's kind of shit you do.
by a fucking blue heron.
This is delicious.
That's what
and
you
it's
look like.
Dutch Bros, which is an awesome company.
Yeah. I'm drinking.
Refreshing. What's
Refreshing.
that? Refreshing.
Refreshing.
This is the pumpkin brulee latte.
Oh.
A fall favorite. It's
Oh,
so
yes.
good.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Samsung Gold Peak Aquafina.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. What is this? What company? Road.
Yeah.
Roadcaster.
Yeah. Road.
This episode brought to you by
Reese's. Reese's. See, I should have left this up here.
Yeah. The whole time.
You never fucking know.
Yeah, that would have been much more helpful.
Anyway.
What other questions do you have for Lynette?
Yeah.
Lynette.
Lynette, how
What's
was judging the? Sorry, you were going to ask a dumb question. How was hosting?
Fuck
I mean, how
me.
was judging
This is what it feels like.
the super funny comedy competition the other night?
I was judging it. Oh.
Yeah, judging it.
I was very honored to be asked to judge.
Yeah.
A part of me is uncomfortable doing it though. And
Yeah.
I say that because like I feel like I just got here personally. You know, I'm still relatively new to comedy, and so to be put into a place where I would judge other comics made me feel uncomfortable. With that said, it's been a really good run though that I've had, and like it was nice and also uncomfortable, I guess.
Well, there's comedy.
Yeah,
That's pretty much it.
Comedy's nice.
What
and
was it
uncomfortable.
hard when somebody really sucks?
Yes, and I would say that I don't feel like people really sucked the nights that I did it.
Yeah.
One person that I actually did give like verbal feedback to, I felt like I was pretty good with telling them what they did wrong and what distracted me.
Yeah.
But I don't feel the need to put anybody down
Yeah.
or to say something
you
that's
guys were super
discouraging,
nice.
you know?
There was people, I always try to like sandwich stuff, you know? So
Yeah.
like if you're giving somebody feedback, you say like the nice thing, you say the thing they're not gonna like, and then you say like a nice thing.
Well, it's nice that you made notes for the comics. That's
Yeah.
cool. That was
Super
solid.
nice.
And I think that they really appreciated that.
Yeah, I sandwich stuff in notes too.
Yeah.
And there was a couple comics that went up, and I was like, man, I'm so glad that I don't have to give them verbal feedback, because the thing, they did good things, but the thing they did wrong was like so wrong
Yeah.
that it makes me wonder. It's like, like I don't know if there's a there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt uncomfortable
Yeah.
if I had to give them feedback.
I think you would have though.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have played it. You know, I would have played it. Well, there was somebody that I had to give feedback to that had like a really bad set and like barely any laughs after somebody had like killed in front of him and a person after him killed too.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, like that was just really bad. I had kind of coming off of that. I did a podcast today. It's called
was it the
Australia.
Australian
podcast. Yeah, it was
That's
really
so
cool.
awesome.
It was this Australian podcast, but it focused on like mental health and like addiction stuff or whatever. And during that podcast, he asked me, one of the things he say, "Hey, do you have any like tips for like comics?"
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of comics that listen to this, and I don't want anybody to take what I'm about to say in the wrong way. And I don't know if it's really like that groundbreaking of a thing to say, but I'm uncomfortable saying it. And that is, if comedy is taking more from you than what it's giving you, it is 100% okay to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be that guy who's like, hey, you should quit. But like I see a lot of comics and I listen to them talk off stage, and maybe they're people I don't know very well. I overhear conversations. I watch them on stage, yada, yada, yada. And it seems like it's not working and it's not going to work. And they plow on.
Just keep pushing through.
And I would think like, what an awesome opportunity to stop, like reassess and maybe find like an outlet that's more rewarding for you than this one, you know?
Maybe they don't know.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just what it is. And sometimes I get surprised. Sometimes I've seen comics where I'm like, I don't think that's ever going to work.
And then they turn it around.
very rarely, but it does happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it requires some sort of awareness of yourself.
Yeah, and I haven't seen any of those folks turn into like killers though. Like I haven't seen them. I've never seen one of those people like start doing it full time. Like I've never seen. That's a question I have for you, Lynette.
Yes.
If and when
are you gonna go?
When are you gonna? If and when, like full-time comedy.
Yeah.
Like, do you think you're gonna get there? And if you do, what would be that timeline? What would you foresee it being?
I still want to not do full-time comedy for at least a few years, if not a little more. I have a really good day job, and so I love what I do during the day, and it also pays the bills, and it takes care of health care for me and my family. So it's kind of hard to give that up. I love comedy. If it got to a point where I can take care of my family and pay those bills and all that, I would definitely do it. And it's also hard to make a life decision off what I just mentioned earlier, 30 some minutes of material. So,
I know you're not there right now.
No, I know, but you know, just the thought process. I did make a decision that if I got to that point, you know, not too long ago, I was really thinking about everything. And, if I got to a point where I could, I would. Yeah. So I would love to do this full time. Absolutely. I just, right now, financially, it's hard to really put a time on that. I just.
Can you recognize the point where shit shifted for you in that past like 6 months? Was there a time before when you were on stage where you're like, wow, I kind of leveled up here? Did you feel it?
Are you talking how you said you've noticed the last 6 months or something?
So
before that,
let me tell you about, so one time I was featuring for a guy named Mark Yaffe, right? And I was only doing like 20 minutes or something. I was still featuring for this guy.
Yeah.
In Salem, not Ty, the other guy. And before I went on stage, I was like, okay, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, and F in my 20-minute set. And before I went on stage, I was like, I kind of want to do this. But I kind of want to do that. And they don't go in that order.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm looking at my list and I'm like, it's 20 minutes. Just do whatever you want. And I went on stage and I felt better than I ever have on stage. And that was a moment where, like, comedy, you gradually get better.
Yeah.
But then there's these moments where, and it seems like you've gradually gotten better since you started, but it feels like there's something that happened in the last 6 months. And can you recognize that, and what was it?
I'm trying to think. That's a good question. I wish I had time to think about it before I got here, but
you know what?
I don't want to.
Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Go. I was just gonna butt in and yell at you about.
Yell at Sam.
No.
At me. Oh, okay.
How do you write? When do you write your material?
It just kind of comes to me during the day, like a funny thought or a funny situation, and then I just think about it, and I just kind of translate it into a joke as fast as I can in my head and put it on my phone. I do need to be a little more proactive with writing, but most of the stuff that comes up and the things that I talk about on stage are just like real life experiences that I try to twist and make them funny.
Yeah.
I just jot them down real quick. I can't. I'm trying to think because I did have that moment, to be honest with you. And I mentioned to Sam before we came in the house is that I feel like every show that I've done, it's hard for me to talk positive, like nice things about myself. That's just like weird. But and it shouldn't be. We should be able to fucking shine. You know what I mean?
There's a cat.
There are multiple. There are multiple.
But
leg.
I feel like the last several shows I've done have been really good. So I can't tell you what show, if anything, was when that happened to me. But
I will say that I understand what you're saying, and I think about acknowledging that and letting yourself shine. Like, I just had Doris host at the bar this weekend.
She's so excited.
She's so excited. She's so happy about it.
I have not. I have heard
you haven't had the
so
pleasure
much
of meeting
about
She's so
Doris.
fantastic.
I think I've met her. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I've done something with her.
She's very cool. And
I have
she's
such a
funny.
hard time separating people in my head.
Yeah.
She's awesome. And Lynette gave her feedback during the Super Funny competition. Yeah. And like Doris just thought, like it meant so much to her. Yeah. Like genuinely, like, and then she came to the bar and And she was just so happy and she was so excited and she's like so grateful.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so silly because it's just, you know, it's just me. Like, it doesn't matter. But then it forces you to kind of like acknowledge your position and where you are. And that's like, I'm like, no, Doris, it's not a big deal. But it's like, she's like, no, it is a big deal. Mm-hmm. And if I downplay it, then she has to downplay it. And it's like, oh, I'm like,
there's no reason to do that.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, it's totally fine to like, like be excited and like be proud of the shit. Like,
I got to work on that myself.
I was super proud of her that night. She did a great job.
Yeah, she did awesome. She wasn't going to do it. So I'm glad that she changed her mind and tried, I think, just if nothing else for the community aspect. And then she got feedback from you, which she thought was, which was so wonderful.
Did she move on?
No, she didn't. But she was close.
Must not have been that good.
Yeah. Wow.
Doris. I say these
Guess who's never
remember this shit and remind him when he's featuring for you.
Right. Guess who's never working at Tacoma Comedy Club?
Yeah.
Who, me?
Oh, wait.
Oh, no, I can't work at Tacoma Comedy Club. This is new
I want
news.
this podcast to air. Can we?
Rein it in.
Oh, why? Are we not supposed to talk about clubs we're not allowed to work at?
We have complete control over it now. I think we're allowed.
No, we don't talk about that on the podcast. Yeah, there's places I work. There's places I don't work.
He's like, we don't talk about it on the podcast.
But
I work at the Laugh Factory. I got a spot at the Comedy Store coming up. I didn't talk about that on the podcast.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, shit's going good. Really I think I'll be all right without any opportunities. But I would love opportunities, by the way. I'm not trying to be dismissive.
Doris works at Tacoma Comedy Club.
Oh, she does? Oh, okay,
yeah, so
cool.
that's why I said that. Yeah.
Whatever.
I wasn't just I wasn't just opening up bad wounds. Like
Doris, I made a joke on the podcast
because
because I thought it was funny, and I don't know you, and I hear that you're absolutely wonderful, and I hope you like your job at TCC. There's a lot of wonderful people I know that work at TCC, and I'm not allowed there.
Okay.
And I would go there if I could, but it's okay. I feel like an asshole though now. I made that joke. It'd be one thing if I was joking about like a comedian that I know that's already established and made like a joke about them. But
yeah, but you don't even know her.
I know. That's why I feel like an asshole.
Wait, it's fine. You know what? She's the kind of gal that just likes to be talked about.
Okay, good. Doris.
Yeah, she's just
speaking of that, okay, if she likes to be talked about, I have heard so many people talking about how fucking good Doris is.
Okay, I was like, what are you about to say? No, she doesn't. Don't talk about her.
What are you going to say?
Yeah, so that's the clip I want you to hear, Doris. I've heard nothing but good things. And you know what I'm going to do, actually, Doris? I'm going to find a way to where we can work together at some point if you'd like that. So if you want to come do a road gig, maybe you can roll with me and Jess or me and Lynette to a gig.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Maybe all three of us.
I felt so bad. She she hosted on Saturday, but like she ended up getting stuck in traffic.
Oh no.
Like on the way to Seattle, which I I just felt so bad, and I didn't want to text her to be like, hey, how's the drive going? Because I knew that would stress her out even more. But I also wanted to be like, hey, don't stress out. Like I know, like it's totally fine. Like she was so stressed out when she got there.
Did she get there on time?
She did. She got there on time. She was great. She got her composed herself, got it together, and was a real professional. But I felt really bad because I was like, I know that the entire time that she was late, she was so upset about it. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what we don't know, and I just realized is that these might still have. By the way,
they do.
Shout out to Adam. Do you know what they all are?
Oh yeah,
I don't know what they are.
I told you, me and my kids played podcasts.
Are they good ones?
There's, I think this
can
one.
I hit them? I want to know what they do.